I'm going to mute you guys just so we don't hear lots of grunting and groaning, or the cussing goes along with this. All right, starting off on the ground, we're just going to start off really simple with a dead bug. So laying down on your back, hips at 90 degrees, your kneecaps will point up towards the sky, and then hold your knees at 90 degrees. We're going to press your low back into the ground here, and then extend opposites. So we extend your right arm, left leg, tap that heel, come back up, and we just alternate here. So the whole goal is we want to keep your spine fixed, which means you should not feel a difference in your low back as you go. So as you reach, you shouldn't feel your low back arch up. Let's go 2 more each side. Reaching with opposites, whichever one you're reaching with. The other side should stay still, so don't let your arms and legs sort of flail around. We should only have one arm and one leg moving. All right, good there. So we're just going to put your heels on the ground, make your belly strong. We'll push up. So we push up into that glute bridge. We're going to hold the glute bridge and go through a floor slide here. So we want to try to get your elbows down into your back pockets, belly nice and strong, so we're not arching up. Your cheeks are strong. So we're just pushing up into a good strong core. And then from there, we'll do the floor slide, reaching up over your head and getting our shoulder blades warmed up. The goal would be to move your elbows as low as you can while keeping the back of your hands on the floor. And once your hands come off the floor, that's where you stop. That's where your range of motion will end. All right. Good, let's roll over to your side. While we're here, we're gonna curl your knees up, stack your knees right on top of each other. Take that thumb, rotate up and over, open up towards the sky, and then we'll close over the top, right? So we draw the rainbow, trace your thumb along the ground. Try to keep your eyes on your thumb too. So you're gonna try to watch your hand go up and over, just so we get that nice top-down twist or top-down turn. The most mobile part of your spine is the top part, right? So we want to turn and use as much of that as we can, and then start using lower and lower vertebrae to get the turn as we need it. All right, let's go to the other side. All right, fingertips together, tracing that rainbow up over your head. As you're tracing, you're watching your hand. You're also thinking about keeping those knees stacked right on top of each other. Close your hands over top and repeat. Again, checking in, making sure that top knee isn't pulling back. Last one here. And good. All right, let's roll over to a push-up position. We're just going to alternate between push-up position and pushing those hips up towards the ceiling. Push that tailbone up, or like a downward facing dog. But we want a big stretch down the back of your legs. We try to stretch your shoulders here also. And we'll push back into the push-up position. So just alternate between the two, however you see fit. If you like the feeling of the downward dog, that's a good stretch for you. You can stay there. But we do also want to get some movement. Trying to get our shoulders working. A little bit of a stretch. As you push your hips up, think about trying to get your ears in between your arms or in between your biceps. So we tuck your head down, try to make your back flat. I'm not sure that I'm doing a perfect version of this, but it's not bad. All right, and relax. Let's take 2 knees, then come up to 1. So we're getting a hip flexor stretch here, quad or hip flexor stretch. Just staying nice and tall, getting as tall as you can while pushing your tailbone down to the floor. And then let's switch it up. Making your tailbone nice and heavy, getting yourself tall. And good. From there, we're just going to go feet wide. And we'll go hands to the floor. And we can start working side to side here if you want. Settling into that stretch. It's going to be kind of a half of a hamstring stretch, half groin stretch. And good. Let's come up to standing. All right, and just because we're going to be doing exactly 150 squats today, let's go through some and warm up here just nice and slow. Check in your form. So if you have a mirror or if you can look in the camera, check your form. We just want to make sure that knees are staying away from each other. So we don't want this, or you got the collapsing knee syndrome, right? You can set your feet however you need to, but we're just working through that movement, starting to get warm with it before we add weight. You might even go through the first round without weight, depending on how you feel. Remember, this is up to you. We can coach you and we can teach you, but we can't feel what you're feeling. So we'll try to touch on as many points as possible, but we do want this to feel like you're reaching down to tap the couch and come right back up. Okay. All right. Good there. I think we're ready to go. So we've got 5 rounds. I'll be going as usual at a sort of a regular pace, medium pace, not flying through it, not taking my time either. So, with this crowd, I can kind of see where you are. But if you're following this not live, I guess I apologize if I'm too far ahead. And if you think I'm slow, it's probably because I am. So we'll just go through here and get a good workout. In terms of time, I'm not sure. I'm guessing it'll be somewhere around 25 minutes or so, but that's not the important part. The important part is that we're working through with good form and that you get a great workout out of it, no matter what you're looking for today. All right, so we'll get started in about 15 seconds here. I'm just setting our clock to count up. I'll keep you updated on time, but like I said, it's not all that important. Okay. All right, we're ready to go here. We're going to get started in 3, 2, 1, and here we go. Starting off with 10 squats. My goal is to get the weight up under my chin, but to start off with, I always find it better to warm up. Okay, plank rows are next. We're going to get 10 each side. For that plank row, you can either leave your hands on the floor, or I like to elevate my hand just so that lets the kettlebell hang down a little bit lower. Feet wide. Remember, we're doing 10 each side. And the next one is just a set of squats. The math is really easy. We're always doing 10. And if you're doing something that's not a squat, it's easy to remember that the next thing you're going to do is a set of squats. All right, 2-hand row. So hands go on the kettlebell. If you're using a dumbbell, you can hold it vertically and just pull in like this. But we're going to hold the handle here. Okay, third set of squats here. Okay, last exercise is going to be a shoulder press. Might have to be a different weight. So we are doing 10. So for me, I've got to use a different weight to get 10. One foot in front of the other. You're going to kind of stand on your front foot here. Your back foot is just there as like a kickstand. Ten on each side. Okay, and that's round one. 3.5 minutes down. I suspect that'll be about the average speed for us, just because there was some explanation that went along with the first round, but we are still pretty fresh. But as you get more fatigued, that'll probably slow down a little bit. So we're back up to the top 10 goblet squats. Make sure whatever variation you're doing, your chest is staying up. Plank rows are next. Ten squats. Just at the 5-minute mark. Two-hand rows next. After the two-hand row, we're back to squats. One thing to check in on here, just making sure you have your feet pressing evenly through the floor. Most of the time we have to help people get into their heels a little bit more. The more you press your heels down, the more you're going to be using your glutes or your butt cheeks. And it just gives you a more balanced press. So instead of your quads doing all the work, your hips are going to help out with that as well. Shoulder press to wrap up round 2. Kind of standing on that front leg. Again, as you go through this, you're going to be sort of limited or confined a little bit by the weight that you have at home. So if the weight that you have just is not working, you can adjust as you need to. It's like not everybody has the same stuff. So if it's just not working, you can lower the reps or raise the reps, whatever you feel like you need. Plank rows. We just hit the 8-minute mark. So we are sort of still on pace, whatever that pace is. Again, these plank rows, you can do them without a weight. Two-hand rows next. Making sure we're making that double chin here. Pulling the back of your head up to the ceiling. It's nice when an exercise goes quick, but then you're just back to the goblet squats faster. Wrapping up round 3 with a shoulder press. If shoulder press doesn't work for you, you can turn this into a floor press. So you might be lying on your back, pressing up. So if overhead pressing either causes pain or doesn't work, you can turn this into a floor press by lying on your back and pressing up. Okay. Getting into round 4. As I was putting this together, debating between 4 rounds or 5. So this could be the last round, but it's not. We're going to go 5 rounds today. We're just at the 12-minute mark. Do your best to stay square with the plank row. If the plank row doesn't work for you, you can turn it into a plank position with marching knees. So you would just march your feet up under you, nice and slow, kind of like a slow motion mountain climber. That would be if this plank row doesn't work for you. Two-hand row. Shoulder press to finish up round 4. Opposite foot's going to step forward. All right. So we have been pretty consistent at 4 minutes a round. We just hit 16 minutes. Got one round coming up, last one of the day. We've already done 120 goblet squats. What's 30 more? All right, make sure as you finish here, we're not scrapping away at it. Make sure form is good. Everything's dialed in. You're ultra focused on form, how your feet feel, how your legs feel. If your hips are square. Especially on the goblet squats, we're going to be trying to share the load with your legs, meaning it shouldn't just be your quads on fire. You want to push your heels down enough so that you're feeling a little bit of work in your hips too. I know the hardest part for me is keeping my hips square here on these, on the rows. To really dial in, focus on that. Trying to keep everything centered straight down the middle, just like you're not rowing at all. Last 10 squats coming up. Just to get into that 20-minute mark, I'm going to take a second so that my shoulder press can be really good. Try to exhale as you push up. I'm okay taking an extra couple breaths here. We're just at 21 minutes, and I was hoping for 25, so we're doing all right. All right, final set here. Okay. Oh, I haven't had shin sweat for a while. Got some of that going on. Just at 22 minutes. We'll wrap it up there. Looks like you guys beat me. So, all right, I'll let you guys catch your breath. But great job this morning. That's a tough start to your weekend. So I appreciate you jumping on and joining me. You guys have a great weekend. Find something fun to do. It's going to be chilly but nice.
Thanks, Brian.
You got it. Good job, Elaine. We'll see you.